Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Tabansi. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and when we give you guys the first perspective on things and how we see them. And today we have a very interesting show for you guys. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you want to follow me on Instagram, my name is Charles Tabansi. Handle is CTABANZ. If you want to follow Dreamers Pro, the channel, on Instagram is the same name as the channel, Dreamers Pro. And if you want today's full show before it comes out, be sure to check out our podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We have that pinned in the comment section below. Let me get into this topic here. Now, I want to talk about Victor Wembanyama. This boy here, man. This guy here. Folks, you know, generally when they hype up players, I really don't pay attention to it. I usually like to form an opinion about an NBA player when they get to the NBA. I don't watch college basketball. I don't get into all of that. I want to see what they are when they hit the professional level. That's when I really begin to form my opinion, because there's been very excellent players on the collegiate level that their games translate into the NBA. I'll give you an example, like Christian Laettner, JJ Redick, and so many others, right? So I wait for guys to get to the NBA. With that being said, Victor Wembanyama has been absolutely hyped to the heavens over the last few months, and deservingly so, as it seems, right? Let me tell y'all what this guy did. Victor Wembanyama just recently played, I believe it is his 5th NBA game. In that game, he faced the Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns, in a team in which they faced on back-to-back nights. They faced them the day before, and then they just faced them yesterday. And going into that game, the marquee names obviously were going to be Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Victor Wembanyama. And in 34 minutes, let me tell you what this gentleman did in a W. In that game, Victor Wembanyama, and this is what? Let me just count the game. This is his 5th game as a pro. As a 19, 20-year-old, he scored, get this, 38 points on 57.7% shooting from the field, 50% shooting from the three, going 3 of 6. That's a legitimate 50%. Shooting 83% from the free throw line, getting you 10 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, and just 2 turnovers in that game. Now, those are just the raw stats. If you actually saw the highlights of this guy, he's unlike anything I've ever seen in my life. For a 7'4" guy, he is unlike anything I have ever seen in my life in terms of a basketball player. And it seems like I'm not the only one that's totally enamored by this guy's game. Even Stephen A. Smith this morning on ESPN First Take believes that Victor Wembanyama may end up being so good that he may end up being an all-star his first year in the season. So for those of you who didn't hear what Stephen A. Smith had to say about Victor Wembanyama, take a listen to what him and Brian Windhorst had to say, and then we'll come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to that there.
Ooh. Hey, listen, y'all. There's a lot of hype. I mean, everybody talks about, me. I'm supposed to be, one of the stars of the network. Let me say for the record, I was never allowed to go to France on assignment. That was Brian Windhorst. So he the real star. He the real star, because I wasn't allowed to go to France. That brother was allowed to go to France, okay? Not me,
he knows
all right?
how to behave
but let me
himself.
tell you something right now. Let me tell you something right now. Bonsoir. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is this. This dude, Wembanyama, I don't know. This dude, Wembanyama, bonjour.
It's okay.
All right,
Get it
here's the
together.
deal, y'all. Okay, listen, this dude, Wembanyama, let me tell you something. He can ball. He's a special talent, man. It was worth it. There's a reason Wendy was over there, because he's worthy of it. It's one thing to be as tall as he is or whatever. The brother can handle. He can shoot. He's got a stroke. I'm looking at him last night. He shot 57% from the field, y'all. It wasn't just 38 points, like 35 shots. He shot 57% from the field. Inside, outside, as skinny as he is, he's not scared to attack the basket. The other night in the victory, the brother against Houston, he's demanding the ball at crunch time. Okay, in just his second or third game in the league. Give me the damn ball. He's one of those dudes. And I love the fact that KD pointed that out. He used the words as passion for the game or whatever. The brother wants it. I mean, he ain't come to the NBA to collect the check and just to live off of the skills that he naturally, brings to the table. You see the clutch points over there, 21 clutch points this season. Obviously, LeBron is at the number one spot behind, with Luka right behind. And, of course, Steph Curry's in that mix. But Wembanyama is right in the conversation. He's demanding the basketball. And you see dudes deferring to him. And they ain't doing it because he's tall. They're doing it for two reasons. He's got skills and he's got heart. The brother ain't scared. And I'm looking at him right now, and I'm saying, I expect, and keep your eyes on this, Eminem and Wendy, I expect to start seeing people as the season progresses get physical with him, because his skill set along with his height leaves you devoid of most answers for this brother. The only thing that's left is that you look at that skinny frame and you like, let him feel me. Other than that, I don't know what you're going to do with this brother, because he ain't going to get worse. He ain't even turned 20 yet. This brother, Wembanyama, the real deal. He's the real deal. And by the way, he'll probably be an all-star as a rookie. He'll probably be an all-star.
Yeah, I don't think that's a leap of faith making that suggestion, Stephen A. The one thing I will say, though, you're right. I think the physicality is probably coming. But the problem with physicality is you can get away with it a little bit more in today's NBA in the paint. But I don't know if you saw it. When the game was on the line, after it was tied at 116 all with about 4 minutes to go, this man is coming off screens from behind the three-point line. Like, where's the physicality in that? And so I think the well-roundedness of his game is part of what makes him so spectacular combined with his size. And KD used the word enthusiasm, which I thought was so spot on. The one thing that I will say about this particular matchup, though, I think that you clearly see where he is the beneficiary of having just played this team on Tuesday night in a hard-fought, crazy come-from-behind win for the Spurs. And then he rolls into the game on Thursday with a tremendous amount of confidence and scores 10 out of the 12 points after the game was tied with 4 minutes to go. And so to me, combined with the skill set, his desire to be that guy and not shying away from the moment, as the clutch stat graphic that we saw alluded to, I mean, come on, let's go. I don't know that the league has been put on notice, because I feel like these guys were already talking about him prior to him actually being drafted. This is what we had hoped for.
So, guys, when I went over to Paris last year and I met his youth coaches and I met his family and I met his teammates, both his current teammates and former teammates, I found out that there's three things about him that have all come together that are very rare. Obviously, we know the size. That's the first thing you notice when you see him. Two, the skill set. It's the skill set and the size together which makes something really special, and that's what is the reason he was drafted number one. But it's the third thing, which is the confidence. My gosh, is this a confident man?
So you heard what they had to say. I want to quickly read what I posted on the channel before producing this show here. I said, this was about 34 minutes ago, I wrote, Victor is going to rewrite the history books. He will be an all-star this season. If he starts winning championships, he is going to destroy the top 5 rankings of all time. One person said, I love how he's already learned to stay on his feet. So many big men nowadays don't understand it. Another person said, he's a man. Another person said, health is the only thing that has the potential to stop him. Another person said, only after a few games. Another person said, yeah, man. And another person said a defensive player of the year. And another person said, cooked KD and Booker. Let me talk about this from a macro standpoint, and I want to take my time quickly with this. That sounds like I actually want to take my time quickly. I want to take my time with this. There's a few things at play here. First of all, I want to talk about the evolution of basketball. The NBA, like a lot of things right now, is evolving so quickly that in the next 10 years is going to be a totally different league. What am I referring to? I'm talking about the players that are going to define the sport. We have spoken about this on numerous occasions on this channel, that the American-born players need to sit up. And by sit up, what I mean, oh my God, I did that. Somebody may say, Jesus Lord. There's somebody that may say I'm in Illuminati because I did this while I was using my hand when I talk. You just won't believe some people. Anyway, I've been saying in the past that some of the American-born players need to take this thing seriously. Yes, the NBA basketball is an American game, although it was invented. Some people say it's Canada, but although it's an American game. I was actually going to put up a poll on the channel just yesterday, asking the question: what city in the States produces the best NBA players? I was going to put LA and all of these, because think about it: Paul George, Kawhi, so many guys, so many great players come from LA. So many great basketball players, and then it come from New York and other places around the country. So it's still very much an American dominated game by American players. However, the trend has been showing over the last 10 years that if American-born players are not serious and they don't take for granted what they have in front of them, let me just distill this down in a way where some people understand. Some of these players that are coming into the United States and playing in the NBA, they don't come from backgrounds that some players in the United States come from. Now, some people may not understand what I mean, but what I mean is this: some people don't come from as privileged backgrounds as you may be in the States. You may not understand it, maybe because you live in the United States, but if you live in the United States, you're already at an advantage against a lot of people in the world. Let me repeat it once more. If you are born and raised in the United States, you are already at an advantage over the majority of people born in other places around the world, just because of the economy, the facilities, the country works. You have internet, you have clean water, you have infrastructure, you have all of these, you have all the information, all of these things in the United States working in your favor. And what happens in instances like this is that usually when people have everything at their disposal, they tend not to use them because they take it for granted. And then when you have other people that are coming from different backgrounds, they may not have all the things that you have, they're forced to work more. And when they get to the United States and when they get to the NBA, they come there to take everything. So while some players in the States are going through the motions, these guys are coming to snatch everything. You see, whether or not, for example, Gilbert Arenas says that NBA players in the States are still, it's irrelevant. It's actually quite irrelevant, because all that really matters is what's actually taking place out there on the court. Not what he says and what I say, is what's actually happening. Let's look at the top 10 players quickly. 5 of them arguably all international players, or 4 of them. Luka Doncic, whose team is currently number 1 in the West. Nikola Jokic, arguably the best player in the world. Giannis Antetokounmpo, arguably the best player in the world. Joel Embiid, Defensive Player of the Year. MVP. 4 guys, all international players. 4 of them. Then you have, of course, you have Jamal Murray, you have Shai Gilgeous Alexander, you have other players. And then you now have Victor Wembanyama. People aren't even paying attention. Victor is from the Congo, by the way of France. Victor is a Congolese. Now, some people may not realize that that's what he is. Just like I think in the Jewish religion, if your mother's a Jewish, you are Jewish. In African religion, whatever your father's from, that's where you're from. Now, he may be born in France, but Victor is widely viewed as an African, a Congolese man. They're going to take your father's side. This is another foreigner coming to the NBA. Another one. So regardless of what these guys are talking about, oh, it's not going to be this game. It's not about what you're talking about. It's really about what you're doing. The landscape is evolving quickly. And that's what the NBA wants, because they want it to be an international global game. And that's where it's going. You have players like Giannis. They're going to bring in the Nigerian audience. They're going to bring in the Greek audience. You have Victor Wembanyama. He's going to bring in the French audience. He's going to bring in the Congolese audience. You have Luka Doncic. You have Nikola. You have all of these guys expanding the game because people from those countries are going to watch. All I'm saying is this: if folks in the States don't sit up and start taking this thing seriously, it's going to be a wrap. Globalization is actually real. Whether you want to believe it or not is irrelevant. Globalization is real. And beyond the fact that this guy may end up being one of the greatest players of all time, I think it also serves as an example of where the NBA is going in the future. And most fans don't care. They love it. Most fans just want to see great players. Now, of course, you have some small-minded idiots that are going to be like, oh, no, he has to be from here. Those people don't matter. Those are people that are trying to fight fight the inevitable. So to me, man, listen, it's going to be fascinating to see where the NBA game goes. It's going to continue to grow, and I don't think this is the end. I think this is the beginning. I think there's going to reach a point in time in the NBA when they're going to be like the top 20 players. The majority of them are going to be international players. I'm not even going to get into some of the reasons why that is from a fundamental standpoint and how some NBA players in the States, American-based NBA players are reared through the AAU system. How people like Robert Horry, Kobe Bryant, and all of these guys slam this system because they're not teaching NBA players the fundamentals, and you have guys coming from Europe and they're already coming into the NBA with their fundamentals already in place. So to me, it's going to be a fascinating dichotomy that's going to evolve over time, and I can't wait to see it. May the best man win. I'm all for competition. May the best man win. You're not going to get something through nepotism or, well, I deserve it because my father. No. Whoever's the best, let him have it. That's how it should work. Whoever is the best, let the market decide who that should be. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. We catch you guys on the next show. Peace.